Good morning, everyone. Can you hit play? It's like a 5-second video. I'm in front of the thing. I'm just gonna start. Okay, well, if you can imagine what that sounded like, that is a sound of nostalgia hitting every single Asian child growing up here, like me included. I grew up watching my parents and my grandparents play Mahjong because I wasn't old enough to play. But as I've grown older, I've kind of really appreciated and loved Mahjong as a game. I play it all the time with my grandma when I go home because it is a way, she has Alzheimer's, so it's a way to help keep her wits sharp and for me to keep connecting with her, right? And as I've grown, I've really loved what Mahjong is and what it is right now. I've seen it kind of like popping off right now in like I guess like the social sphere. So what I've been doing, I want to tell you all about, I've been teaching private Mahjong lessons at some restaurants nearby here in Prospect Heights. I've been having a lot of fun with it, having like 4 to 8 people come by. We have some food, we have some drinks, and I teach them all about the Mahjong and all about how there's different types of it, whether it's from Hong Kong, which is where I learned how to the style that I learned how to play. There's Taiwanese, there's Shanghainese, there's Jewish Mahjong, which I think is awesome. And I've created sort of like these little handy guides for people to learn like what Mahjong is and how to explain what it is to people. I luckily somehow got spotlighted on New York 1 for these Mahjong classes, so it was a ton of fun, and I am really, really excited about just like sharing this love of like my culture and the things that I've learned growing up with people. So that's it. This is my love letter to Mahjong. I absolutely love it. And I'm gonna do this if I have a little bit of time. I'd love to take a selfie with this because I am freaking out and think this is a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I love it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Millie. I'm half of the Mad Scary podcast, and I was standing in front of the projector. The Mad Scary podcast is a project that I started with my high school best friend, Rena, who is not here, and she has been a long-time collaborator of mine. We've been writing things since high school, took a break for 20 years, and now we're back at it. So, so we decided in March that we were at a place in a space in our lives where we wanted to start creating again. We had tried to collaborate with other people and realized that no, this was where it's at. So we decided to do a podcast, which is like super novel. Nobody does that. And we we both sort of blurted out horror movie podcast. And over the course of the 3 months that we've been putting it together, it's evolved and continues to evolve. And what we've decided is every month we're going to watch a movie, and then ChatGPT, generative AI, is going to give us another movie. We are going to watch those movies in order to pick up on tropes and then write our own screenplay for a horror movie. So it's very exciting, and I hope that you give it a listen. With all that being said, I would want to say that if you have a good collaborator, hold on to them tight or reach out to them again, because you never know. 3 months later, you might have a whole project. And the scariest part is always starting. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. So you're right. We will cheer. We'll cheer them off, and the same person on at the same, and the new person on at the same time. So cheering, and then we'll go.
What's up, Brooklyn? Don't take the brown acid. All right, my name is Danielle McGurran. I'm City Folk Studio. I make miniatures. That's pronounced miniature, not miniature. And sort of imagine my work as model train people and dollhouse people getting into a knife fight in a dive bar by the docks. That's pretty much what I do. I have been an artist my whole life, but never really kind of identified as one. And I think it was because I was looking for the perfect moment, the perfect setup, the perfect pen, the perfect paper, the perfect combination of things, of lighting, of whatever. And guess what, guys? There isn't one. It just doesn't exist. You just gotta fucking do it. That's just what you gotta do. I lived in a 180 square foot apartment. 180 square foot apartment in Manhattan for 16 years, and I never made a thing. I bought art supplies, I stuffed them under my bed, and I never did a goddamn thing. And I really just got really into reading blogs about soap operas. It was ugly. And then I met my wife. She is a dream, beautiful person. She changed my life. She gave me the permission to create. I built a little desk in the corner of our tiny apartment on 81st Street. I started making things. I got an Instagram. I got people interested. I got some commissions. I started living. I started rocking. Then we moved to a nicer apartment, and now I make all my shit in a closet. And I'm here to tell you, there is no perfect time. There is no perfect thing. Just make.
Thank you. Who's next? Who's our next friend? Thank you. Devin, are you here? Amazing. Devin is here. Round of applause. I'm like, that's great. 1 minute and 30.
Hi, I'm Devin. I'm a life coach and experience designer, and I'm a big believer in imagination as a fun and healing resource. And I am on a quest to collect as many personal growth imagination games as I can so I can create a grand theory of how to best design and deploy these self-growth games. So a personal growth imagination game is a thought experiment or a game or activity that allows you to try on a new possibility in your life. So here's some examples. This one is a group game. Somewhere in the world, there's someone who actually hosts a dinner party where everyone who arrives is asked to complete the prompt. Something I work hard to not be is blank. Let's say you wrote down lazy. Then for the rest of the dinner, you have to interact with everyone else as the most lazy version of yourself. At the end of the dinner, everyone goes around and compliments one another on how they showed up, mining these shadow selves for unexpected gifts. Here's another thought experiment from the book Fail Fast, Fail Often. Imagine your eccentric great uncle has left you $100 million with some peculiar stipulations. He was an inventor of this tool called the fun meter that tracks how much enjoyment someone experiences over time. If you manage to score a 7 out of 10 on the fun meter every day, then yeah. Anyway, that's the end. Yeah, email me if you have any ideas of imagination games you play. Connect me to people who like this kind of stuff. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Oscar. Probably all of you saw the new campaign for the We Love New York. When it came out, a lot of people reached out to me. I got probably 20 messages. And I was like, Oscar, you should do something different, change it, do something with your typography. And I was just like, I don't really know. I mean, it's already out there. But I took like a, what was that? Oh.
That's okay. You're doing great. That's okay.
Too big over here. It's like, right? Yeah, so I took some time at night one day, and I took like 4 hours, and I was like, let me make this lockup. And it finally worked, and it took me back because I think that the original logo had so much character. And like what New York is known about is about making stuff that's not cool, and we make it cool, like typefaces, certain things that don't, like graffiti and stuff. Some other places it wouldn't work, but like, and so I chose a typeface that many bodegas use, which is Windsor. And I put it together, and like after a little bit, I was like, let me show people how I see New York. Like Chinatown, like fashion, like shoes, like street, cement. I don't know, like, but yeah, I think New York is just more than just like a big heart. And I think the word love could be spelled in any font, and it will just mean the same thing. We're not very modern and clean, we're just raw and honest. And I think I wanted to show that. But yeah, cool.
Am I blocking it? Hi, I'm Alex. I am obsessed with celebrity and fame, and I don't know. In grad school, I did my dissertation on Kim Kardashian. My advisor did not know who she was, but joke's on her because she's big. I'm fascinated by the fact that people have always been famous to an extent. Like, people have cared about political leaders, their gods, goddesses, but this like famous for being famous is relatively new and tied to social media, and I love it. Something that's super interesting to me is, in some studies, a quarter of Gen Z dreams of being an influencer or a content creator as their dream job, instead of, when we were kids, maybe like an astronaut or an actor or something. But what's wild to me is that it seems awful to be famous, genuinely terrible. As I think many of you might have noticed, especially for women, people of color, non-binary people, fans and followers are brutal, and they love someone who's on the rise, but if they get too high, like Icarus, they tear them down. As you can see, they love Khloe Kardashian when her boyfriend's cheating on her and she's losing weight, but someone like Anne Hathaway who's just thriving, they're not loving. Or Gwyneth, unfairly maligned, I would say. But I'm working on a novel about two model sisters who are struggling, and their mother convinces them to be on a reality show to resuscitate their careers, and how terrible it is. But yeah, thanks.
Okay, can you guys do an experiment with me? Can you keep a beat? Okay, so just stomp your foot and clap. Stomp, clap. Good, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about, I've been doing work in Malawi, Africa, meeting some amazing creative women that have grown themselves through collective businesses out of extreme poverty and hunger. And there was a hurricane, and so if you're interested in helping, coming, supporting, come on. But really, I thought about it. We just came from New Mexico, and the skies are vast, and I wanted to bring you a message from the stars. Oh, you are love. Oh, you are love. Now join me. It's real simple. Oh, you are love. Now close your eyes. Tell the one inside, you are love. Now turn to each other. Look. Oh, you are love. Oh, you are love. It's beautiful. You did a great job. If you're interested in doing more song, pouring more love out there, contact me. Thank you.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm an art director in the tech space. And when I heard about this event, I was like, oh, I wish I had something creative to share. And then I realized that I've been drawing these floral sketches for a really long time. And I thought, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's something. So for me, these florals are a way to connect to a lot of female ancestors and relatives who wore bright floral prints, or were avid gardeners who knew the name of every plant that they came across, or who were these incredible watercolor artists. And all of them had this really deep connection to nature that I was always envious of. So for me, I don't know if you all know what blind contour drawings are, but I basically start, but you're all nodding, but I'm gonna explain it anyway. So basically, I'm looking at the flowers, and I'm looking at the leaves and the stems and the buds, and I'm drawing them, not looking at the paper until it's completely done. And so it's a really great surprise for me to see what's been created, and it's also a really good way to disconnect from screens, as I know we're all always looking for something like that. So thank you for having me. I've actually never put these together before, and now I'm like, ooh, they've grown into a whole body of work. Look at that. Thank you, thanks so much.
Hey everybody, my name is Nelson. I'm a portrait photographer based in Williamsburg, also taking photos for Creative Mornings. And my project is a daily photography project. I've been using this as a glorified webcam for the last 2 years, and I figured I should try and rekindle my love for photography. So that is my project right now. I'm uploading a photo every single day. I'm not taking a photo every single day, but I'm walking every single week to a new location, new neighborhood, new event, bird watching in Central Park, the dance parade, the AAPI parade, and the cherry blossoms of Brooklyn Botanical, to name a few. If you're interested in joining me for a photo walk, please feel free to reach out. My Instagram is right up there. And if you have a location or a new neighborhood or an event that you want to send my way, feel free to reach out. And this is day 174. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, that's me. Oh, I'm going too far. I timed this last night, so if I talk really fast, I can say everything. All right. Hi, my name is Alex. This is my project, Cooper Collective. I'm here to talk about the design of a young concept that is like, this post went up yesterday. Every foodie has an answer to the question, what do you wish existed? Cooper Collective is my outlet for workshopping those ideas. The collective is aspirational. Right now, it's just me. My friend Noah helped me with the branding. After several consultations, came up with this handy logo series. Jeff works awesome. The hands represent how hands-on the ideation is and the care that goes into each product. Each product is an obsession for someone. Everyone has an obsession. This is what these are. My own obsession is a brand of oatmeals. It's a whole food oatmeal that only provides full instant oat breakfast, but also provides a perfect balance of calories. And here's how I designed it. It's a wholesome product, so it has to be wholesome for the planet. A paper exterior is the touch and feel of paper, but the inside is a compostable, heat-sealable ecoplastic. The product is a perfect solution to many complex problems I don't have the time to discuss here. But it's also a very simple solution, which is why there is as much empty space in the package as possible. As for the colors, you can't really see much here, but it's a peachy clay tone, leaning into like the natural feel and the natural solution and natural goodness. Thank you all so much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha Andrews, and this is my project, Soft Practice. So I want to first start with what brought me here. 2020 was a difficult year for me, as I'm sure it was for everyone here. 2021, I spent in therapy. I started to reconnect with the parts of myself that I'd forgotten, namely my inner artist. 2022, I moved here to Brooklyn all the way from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I started taking a printmaking class. These are some of the prints that I've made. Through printmaking, I've learned to surrender control, enjoy the process, and celebrate happy accidents. So the Soft Practice newsletter and YouTube channel are where I share my journey. It's very DIY. I don't have any special camera. I use my phone. But I just like to kind of talk about all the things that I'm learning as a new artist. Soft Practice is a new orientation toward creativity and art making for me. It's how I'm recovering from burnout and perfectionism, and how I'm learning to slow down, play the long game, follow my curiosity, and an invitation to make art in service of my moods and desires. So my intention for today is just to share with you that there are lots of ways to make art, and if you can introduce any softness and gentleness into your practice, I highly recommend it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Ooh, that's loud. I'm born and raised here in Queens and Long Island, but I live in Honolulu now. Over there, I work for a mobile wireless provider called Mobi, and Mobi's a sponsor of CreativeMornings Honolulu. Yeah. So similarly to this event, we start every event with a local artist performing, and then we have a local artist talk about whatever the theme is. For example, we had Hula, Kumu, or Teacher speak on the movement of theme of movement, and that was Vicky Hotakamine. So last month was Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, or AANHPI. So Mobi and Creative Mornings Honolulu had the idea to turn one of our Mobi stores into a makeshift gallery. So at our April event, we had 3 of the artists kind of agree on the spot that they wanted to show their work. So we have over here, you can't really see it, but Rumi Murakami, who's a slow fashion designer, Manny Aloha, who's a surf poet, Sylvia Lee over there, who's a tattoo artist, along with them, Kalei Rahur, who's a collage artist, Phoenix Tran, who's a photographer, and Somalia Puapuaga, who's a painter. And on top of that, we had local record store and label show their records at the store. We recreated their record store in our store. The event was really great because it was such a great representation of what a melting pot Hawaii is. Each of them had a unique voice, but they had a through line of the culture in Hawaii and respecting the land and culture over there. And I wanted to bring it to New York. Thank you.
I'm not ready yet. Oh, I was going to speak first. Oh, you're going to speak first? Yes, I'll tell you what. Sorry. So at Creative Morning in April, Ivy Ross and Susan Maximin talked about how dance is one of the best ways to exercise creativity. I started taking dance classes 2 years ago because I got very into K-pop very quickly. There was something about how everyone was doing the same movements at the same time that made me really feel connected. But I'd always loved to make up dances in my living room, anyone out there the same, when I was a kid. So a year ago, I decided to take a song that I had on repeat and choreograph it. I asked 2 of my friends if they wanted to do it with me, and so I taught it to them. So here's just a quick clip. I'm just going to do 20 seconds. It's not exactly synced up, but you get the idea. That's okay. This choreography initially came from improvisation. I played the song on loop and just did what my body wanted to do. I didn't know this at the time, but most choreographers create that way. So because I came up with the choreo by myself, I didn't know how it would be when I brought my 2 friends. So we had to make some changes, and that collaboration is something I really cherish, the ability to create something and then recreate it. So I take a lot of dance classes, and I also teach at the absolute beginner level, but there's really nothing like creating something myself and just seeing how that song shows up in my body. And no one needs to be a great dancer to do this. You can literally go home, press Spotify, put a song on loop, and just do that yourself. So, thanks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eiko. I'm Hiroshima-born, a New York-based artist. I make site-specific and person-specific art. My theme is language, perception, and being present. This is one of my lifelong projects. It's called Finger Food Art. I started in Tokyo in 2008. Now I need your help. I'm looking for collaborators. This is how I make. Whenever I newly meet non-Japanese people, what kind of finger food makes you feel nostalgic about family or the friends, hometown or home country? The people shared beautiful stories with me, not only the food, but also the conversation with the grandma in the kitchen or night market at the first date. I take a picture that the hands, they pretend holding the foods, and then I draw, and then I put the recipe in their mother tongue, and I color that design in the region or country flag. So I made over 30 works so far, but I wanted to expand more. So if you wanted to be a hand model or ambassador, the finger food from your hometown, please come and find me, and then let's collaborate. Thank you so much.
Hi. I've never used one of these. Hi, I'm Holly. I'm the founder of Hereabout. I'm an architect. I have notes. I forget what I'm doing right now. I design thoughtful, sustainable, and joy-infused home plans.
Hi, I am Kate. I am delightfully unhinged and invasively peppy. I am the owner of K Smith X, which is a construction consulting and design firm, and I am a general contractor.
And Kate and I met on the internet sometime recently in the past year-ish. We met over the love of the same blanket. As we became friends, we knew we wanted to do a collaboration, and so we did, and we made it amazing, and we made it big, and we really wanted to focus on the intimacy of home throughout our collaboration. So over the past few months, we worked together on creating a super fun giveaway, but more importantly, a really fun and beautiful and fantastic home design.
Thank you for your smiles. So in this collaboration, not only with each other, we thought, like, how can we go big? What can we do? And so we just jokingly, when Holly was like, let's just make a house and give it away. And I was like, okay, great, sign me up. And then it was, how do we, collaborate with others? Who do we love? And so we just did our moonshot and started asking other makers and brands that we really loved that had the same design ethos that we did. And we were like, hey, do you want to do this? And then we both fell out of our chairs and said, fuck, when they said yes. So we kind of both fell over and made this beautiful thing together, and we're just so excited to share it.
Yeah, and moral of the story is just go big, nothing is precious, have fun.
Hey, good morning. I'm Jill Greenbaum, a visual story catcher and advocate of the Death Positive movement. I have a question for you. Would you be open to having a conversation about your current health, your work, and planning for your someday, one day death? Maybe 2 out of 3? To quote a colleague of mine, Jan Booth, starting a deep exploration of dying and death on our deathbed is unlikely. I believe planning for our dying and death is one of the most important elements of our lives. What would you like the story of your life and your death to be? What is your plan? What are your values about living and dying? Where do you want to be in your final weeks? Who will be with you? What would you like to be in your environment? What music, scents, and visuals will be in the space? What are your wishes for your life celebration, funeral, or memorial? Have you thought about the disposition of your body after death? I ask these questions, I listen for answers, and create drawings that become living documents for deep, rich, and vitally important conversations. And they can be the place to have those good conversations with family and friends. Up above, I've shared one of my examples. You can ask these questions of yourself. You don't need me to do it. And yet, what I hope for you is that you'll explore the wealth of resources that exist about creating the end-of-life experience that you desire for yourself and your loved ones. It's a journey that can prepare you and will increase the appreciation of your life every day. Thank you.
Good morning, New York. I took the wrong direction of the train this morning. Of course. I'm a designer, a creative director, just like 50 other creative directors in the room this morning. I'm also a cancer survivor. You can't compete with that. We hate that term, cancer, right? Cancer canceled all my social existence. After spending 2 years dragging my family, traveling the world, looking for a cure, really getting busy saving my life, I came out from the other side. Meanwhile, employers told me, your best years now behind you because you have a gap on your resume. I got pissed, I started to fight back. Not for me, for everybody. Everybody who has a career gap on their resume. I started this nonprofit called notentirelydead.org to help cancer survivors to fight gaps, stigma, and bias. I love you too. People thought I was weak after cancer. I ran marathons. People thought this work was not research. I became commencement speaker at University of Washington. People thought this nonprofit was a dream, not a thing. Fast Company named it a world-changing idea this year. I love you, New York. My name's Ethan. I'm not entirely dead.
Hi, everyone. Yes. Can we just take a moment to just embrace all the amazing projects that we're seeing? Yes. So I totally forgot what I was going to talk about, but so my name is Steven. My project is not really about something that's designed out or a video, but really it's about building and creating a community. And so all my many years in advertising, and then also seeing people that weren't like myself, not a lot of queer, BIPOC folks, and also seeing all the social movements over the past few years that are really imperative to just the greater good of our world. I think I just sat with myself and I was like, what do we need to do about it? So ended up creating a space called QT BIPOC Design that basically embraces, empowers, and uplifts our queer BIPOC communities. And so over the past few years, we've done a bunch of cool events, online, physical, and we've also serviced thousands of queer BIPOC folks from all around the world. And so if you want to follow our adventure, be a part of it, follow us. That's it. Thank you. Bye.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jenny Douglas, and in the fall of 2007, I sat alone on a hilltop in upstate New York, and I wept. I was at a supremely difficult moment in my life, and all I could think was, who can help me? Who can help me? And in the middle of this steady drumbeat of despair, I took a breath, and in that breath, the words seemed to rearrange themselves. Who can help me became, how can I help? Within a few weeks, I opened up my Prospect Heights brownstone once a month to anyone wishing to sit in silence with me for an hour, after which I fed whoever showed up with a simple vegetarian meal. I told myself whoever walked through my unlocked front door to those gatherings is exactly who was meant to be there, and whether that number was 3 or 15, that was exactly right. In 2009, Maladoma Some, an elder from Burkina Faso, looked across a table at me and told me, you must make yourself into a cottage, a garden of plants, basically a kind of eclectic, generative entity that has something to share with anyone regardless of their situation. And even though I'd grown up in Tokyo and had made my adult home in New York City for years and years, this idea had a strange and beautiful meaning for me. So in addition to the meditation evenings, I added pop-up art shows, storytelling evenings, cooking classes, and workshops of all kinds, all on a budget of $0. I called it the Brooklyn Cottage. It became a kind of community lab and incubator, and I, a kind of urban farmer of the heart. Done. Okay, we're back.
Good morning. My name is Annika. I run a design company called Dirty Bandits, and this is a project that I started a couple years ago with my best friend Samantha Schutz. She wrote a memoir. Sorry, the whole thing makes me cry. I have a really hard time talking about my own project. She wrote a memoir about her struggles with anxiety disorder, and it was so moving as someone that as someone that had been there during the years that she was struggling. I didn't understand it until I read her book. So she started receiving letters from young people saying, your book made me feel less alone. Sorry. And I wanted to help. I wanted to support her. I wanted to help spread the message. So I started painting murals in 2019, and I reached out to every artist that I knew that did lettering, that painted walls, and I said, do you want to be a part of this? 70 murals have now gone up around the world. We have many in New York. We've started doing interviews with artists where they share their own struggles with mental health, whether it's their own personal struggles or their support for someone else. So I encourage you to check out our Instagram. You can see the videos. If you have a wall, if you are an artist and you want to create public art in your community with this message, we would love to have you.
Hi, my name is Christina, and I wanted to tell you about the relationship between bilingualism and creativity. I'm a psycholinguist, which means that I basically research what goes on in people's minds when they are processing language. You've probably experienced this at some point. You're talking to someone, and you know what they are going to say. This is called prediction, and our brains are constantly trying to do it. I compare how bilinguals and monolinguals do it. In Spanish, we have words like papa,
and papa. Papa means potato, papa means that they are distinguishable by the stress. So I use eye tracking, which is this fancy camera right here, to see whether people are looking at a word before they actually hear it. They are making a prediction. And what we find is that monolinguals are constantly trying to use these cues to make predictions, but bilinguals don't do it. So what does this mean? It means that bilinguals look at the world in a different way. And also, that bilinguals have a lot more connections in their minds. And this is why, in linking to other research, that when we test their creativity scores, they score way higher. So thank you.
Hi. Hi, I'm Katrin. I'm a professional designer, and in my free time, I'm a professional nerd, which means that what I do for fun is create data experiences. And what you see in the background is an installation called A Matter of Air, which visualizes air pollution over the 5 boroughs. And what me and my team, Aaron, Julie, and Aurélie, wanted to do is to create a space where we're surrounded by tiny particles, but instead of dust, they're loaded with data. And the installation consists of 42 LED strings, and each string is a neighborhood, for example, Bed-Stuy, and each LED shows a data point. So the LED on the bottom is red. It means that the air quality was really bad, and if the one on top is blue, it means it has improved over the last 10 years. And then we cycle through different data sets like attributable asthma attacks or heart attacks that are caused by air pollution. And what we saw in there is that just because you're in a neighborhood that has bad air quality, that doesn't mean that you suffer the health impacts. For example, Midtown had worse air pollution than the South Bronx, but somehow most of the health issues are found in the poor neighborhoods. And this is the power of data visualization, which means it gives you a beautiful experience that also makes you really mad. If you want to know more about this, find me after. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Pride! Hello, my dolls. My name is Joanne Spataro, and I am the founder and chief baker of Doll Cakes. Doll Cakes is something I made just to delight my 3-year-old. I went on Etsy, and we all know what happens when we get on Etsy. And I all of a sudden was making mini dolls. The dolls are plastic. Yes, you can eat all the cake. And for this Pride season, I curated a specific little group. I've got little Princess Pride. She's rainbow. There is Patricia, but don't call her Patty. Only her mother does. And then there is Red Velvet Rodney, and oh my God, what a diva. He kept melting during this photo shoot. It was very... He went from twink to Liberace. I had to give him more frosting. That's Red Velvet Rodney. I met a real Red Velvet Rodney this weekend, actually, when I made 40 of these cakes in San Diego for a bat mitzvah. So anyway, I want to tell you, any dream is possible, even if you want to make mini cakes. I'm going to be decorating these cakes with kids this weekend on Saturday, and my message is of diversity. We're going to have a diverse array of dolls. My dream is to have every kind of doll out there, every kind of lovely doll. So follow me on Lucas Joanne to see more about Red Velvet Rodney. And you can also reach me on dollcakes.com. Happy Pride. Thanks for having me.
All right, y'all. We have one more presenter. She is absolutely the most stylish member of Creative Mornings New York. I just have to say it. So for our very last presenter,
Reverie.
Let's go.
And I am here to put you to sleep. Yes, I am. You can add 5 years to your life by making sure you get enough sleep. Sleep is when the brain does important work, building brain, gray matter, and self-image. Oh, sorry. Okay. And I'm a children's author. I'm working on a series of bedtime books for Black babies. And the idea is that when you write books for Black children, that it's not enough to give pretty pictures. You have to give content. And so the book contains positive self-esteem and also information about SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Black babies are 2 times more likely to die from SIDS. And the idea of loving yourself and appreciating yourself is something I learned growing up in segregated Harlem in the 1950s. So for today, I'd like to give you a positive self-esteem message to put yourself to bed tonight. I am healthy, I am loved, I lay this body down to peaceful, restful sleep, reverie. Thank you.